Fly US. We founded this airline 30 years ago, and those are the same planes flying today. With a team of flight attendants that are old, resentful bags or angry middle-aged men who failed in life. Fly US. Sit back, relax, and shut up.
Hello YouTube, how's everyone doing? It's Professional here. So today I have a review of the new Streamer 216 plane. This is a new plane that actually came out as part of the San Andreas Mercenaries DLC. Kind of a strange name for a plane, Streamer. But anyways, the Streamer costs $2,238,000 on Warstock cash and carry, and there's no trade price available for this vehicle, so that's just the default price. Now, this is a propeller plane, 4-seater plane. It comes with a few upgrades. You are able to carry bombs on it, and you are able to put actually front-mounted machine guns on it, but there's not really much more than that. It doesn't have countermeasures, does not have retractable wheels. The handling on this thing is, I would say, okay for a plane of this size, but there are planes actually that are actually a little bit this size, even bigger, that actually handle better than this thing. So anyways, let's talk about the speed on this thing. So starting off here, I wanted to start off with speed test, and I want to thank my friends Timmy95 and Vengeful Entity for helping with this. So I decided to do a speed test against two planes here, the Tulla and the Vellum. The Vellum is that 5-seater plane that used in Cayo Perico and also in Prison Break Heist. I'll explain why I decided to compare it against that plane a little bit later. But against the Tulla, the reason I decided to compare it against the Tulla here is because the Tulla, to me, at least in my opinion, is one of the better propeller planes, and a lot of people actually don't like the Tulla. They think that it's not that good of a plane, but I actually think it's actually a pretty decent plane. But he used JTOW thrust, which I think the speed test would probably be the best when somebody uses JTOW thrust, because it's a massive boost. This plane could have at least had that, but it doesn't have JTOW thrust. So the Tulla just has a massive speed advantage from that alone on the Streamer, just being able to get a head start like that. Now, the Streamer destroys the Vellum. In the speed test, it destroys the Vellum. Vellum really has no chance. Now, eventually here, I am actually slowly catching up. I do slowly catch up to it. Eventually here, we decide to break off because we're going to get near the end of the ocean where our planes were going to get destroyed. But then I decided to do a second speed test, and the second speed test, I got a little bit different results here. So the Streamer is actually better than the Tulla when it comes to climbing. When it came to climbing in the air, I did better with the Streamer than against the Tulla. But then when I did a long test, like a very, very far test, from the bottom of the map to the top of the map, and from the top of the map to the bottom of the map, we were at the highest elevation possible. When you fly at, above a certain elevation, it's the first line on the altimeter, then your planes will actually start flying a little bit faster. And the Tulla was doing much better. I was not able to catch up to the Tulla. Wasn't able to. You guys can see right here, my friend the Tulla just had a massive advantage on me. I kept trying to catch up to it, but I just wasn't able to catch up to it. We flew across pretty much the entire map, wasn't able to pass it. Now, I actually did a second speed test. In my second speed test, I wanted to see if I actually get a head start. If I start a few seconds earlier than the Tulla, will the Tulla be able to pass me? And yes, it was able to pass me. So, while the Streamer is not the worst when it comes to speed, there are many, many planes that are much faster than it. Now, what about dogfighting? How does the Streamer do in dogfighting? It does have the same guns as the Tulla, after all. So we did 3 fights here. The first fight, me and my friend just came right at each other, head on. Now, I did get some good shots on the Tulla. I did damage it, and its engine did start shutting down. But the agility of this thing is just not that good. The Tulla is able to easily get behind me. I'm struggling. Now, to be fair, I'm not the greatest pilot ever, but I was just trying my absolute best to see if I could take the Tulla down. I wasn't able to. My friend just got behind me pretty quickly. Tulla just has much better agility. Did some damage to me, and with just a few shots, both of my engines shut down. It was pretty much over at that point. I was dead. Now, we did a second fight. Now, in the second fight, I decided to start out right behind the Tulla. I wanted to see if I get right behind it, if I'm right behind him, will I be able to easily shoot him down? And the answer is no. Even if by some chance you had gotten a good shot, you got snuck up on a Tulla, the Tulla would still destroy you. My friend easily got behind me, took me down, and then we did a third test. In the third test, I decided to be in the Tulla, and we did that same second test over, but reversing the roles. So I was in the Tulla, my friend was in the Streamer behind me, we switched our aircraft, and even me, I was able to easily get behind my friend too, shoot him down. So when it comes to dogfighting in this plane, it's just not good. It does have guns on it, which is a nice thing. You could shoot down police helicopters with this and maybe AI planes, but don't expect to shoot down any player aircraft with this, because even the decent pilots are going to struggle to dogfight with this thing. Another thing about the streamer is that the streamer actually cannot fly upside down. If you actually try to fly upside down, the thing will nosedive down, fall to the ground, and probably blow up. But to be fair, the same thing happens with the Tulla. You try to fly the Tulla upside down, it also crashes to the ground. Another thing that some people might really not like about this plane is that the propellers are actually very close to the door. Even in the Tulla, the entrance to the plane is actually behind the propeller, so it's actually a lot easier to avoid this. But when you're getting out of the plane, if you're rushing out, there's a chance you might just run right into the propellers and just die. However, though, if you're very careful, you don't ever have to worry about this. But I would just warn people, if you're flying this thing the first time, you're probably going to cut yourself up on the blades at least a few times. Now, what about bombing? How does the streamer actually do when it comes to its bombs? So it's terrible in agility, it's not good at speed, but does it actually make up for bombing? Well, actually, it's okay. It's fine. Because it doesn't have that max of a speed, you can actually probably hit targets more accurately. I was doing a headhunter, and this was actually my very first attempt bombing with this plane. And I was able to take out 3 out of 4 targets in 2.5 minutes. The 4th target I wasn't able to take out because the 4th target was actually inside the parking garage, but I was able to hit the targets, even if they were in a moving vehicle, and I was able to hit that one target that's actually in that narrow alleyway. So when it comes to bombing, it's not that bad of an aircraft, but bombing against AI specifically. If you try to bomb players, though, players are easily going to shoot you down with this thing, considering it also has no countermeasures, and it's a pretty big target. The most disappointing thing about this plane, in my opinion, isn't even the speed, the agility, it's actually the disappointing cargo hold. So right here, we're actually flying a full plane. Now, this plane can hold up to 4 people, as the website says, but I still wanted to test it. Because if you actually look in first person in the back here, it literally looks like you could have way more people. You could probably have even double that. So why can't more than 4 people fit in this? I know you're probably not going to have more than 4 people at a time, but it's the fact that there's just room in the back here. Why can't more people fit here? But also, if you look at how you get in the back of this plane, in the back of this thing, you have this little cool cargo door, which people sit in the back on. Why can't they update this to be useful for a change? Why can't they do it, for example, that you can put hanger crates in the back of this thing? Imagine if you could put like 4 hanger crates just in the back of the thing. You run up to the plane, drop it in, and then you just fly it right back to the hangar. 4 crates delivered like that. Or, you could do it for the CEO crates too. Those missions where you have to pick up individual crates. You just put one in the back here each time, and you just fly it to the warehouse. Why can't they do something like that? Something like that will make this plane so useful, and so many people would buy it. But other than that, they just add a propeller plane to the game like this without really that many special abilities. What's really the point of this? I know we get a new aircraft, but there really isn't. You could even use this on Cayo Perico. I could see this being used as a smuggling plane, can't you? Imagine if you bought this plane, for example, you would unlock a special ability where you never have to steal the Vellum plane again, and you could instead go to this plane and fly directly to Cayo Perico. Something like that would give this plane purpose, but right now, as it sits, it has none. And here at the end, we're going to be doing a damage test. I want to thank my friend Raven Cookie for also helping me out with this. So this plane takes 3 homing missiles, which might be decent for armor, but here's the issue, is that with 1 or 2 missiles, the engine already starts smoking, and it gets damaged, and it just shuts off. So the first or second missile isn't going to blow you up, but it's eventually going to kill the plane. Now, there's something really strange about this plane. Now, I don't know whether this is a glitch. I actually suspect that this is a glitch, considering that 3 homing missiles do way more damage than 1 explosive sniper hit. But this plane only takes 1 explosive sniper hit. It doesn't matter where. Like right here, I shoot it, the plane blows up. I tested a second time, and I shoot it, it blows up. I was thinking maybe I was shooting the engine. Maybe I shot the propeller. Maybe that's like a weak spot, so it blows up there. Then I decided to shoot it in the nose, and it blows up also in 1 hit. So lastly, we decided to do an air test. I told my friend Raven Cookie just to fly around in the air, and I'm just going to try to shoot him down. Only 1 hit from the explosive sniper, and the thing blows up. So what gives exactly? Why is it just 1 shot from the explosive sniper? Even the Hydra and the laser, those take at least 2, and those aren't armored. And at the very end, we come to our pros and our cons. The pros of this is it's not very expensive. Some people might say 2 million is very expensive, but compared to the newest jet that came out that's over 5 million, it's not as expensive as some of the other planes in the game, and it has front machine guns. And cons are, it has bad agility. It doesn't have good handling. No countermeasures. Which, here's the thing, I can understand why the Raiju doesn't have countermeasures, because you don't want it to be overpowered. But why can't this thing have countermeasures? This thing should definitely have some kind of countermeasures, some way to protect yourself from missiles. The armor is too weak. Like I said, I personally think the explosive sniper thing is a glitch. So if by the time in the future you're watching this video and it takes more hits, maybe it got patched. But right now, I think they messed up something when programming the explosive sniper damage on it. And it's no retractable wheels. Because this has no retractable wheels, that means that it's easier to hook this plane onto something. Whereas retractable wheels, it's a lot easier to fly through narrow places. And lastly, wasted potential. I personally think, that's the worst thing about the plane, the fact that you can't even do anything with it. It's like you can't put cargo in the back of it. This would be a perfect plane to transport certain things, don't you think that, for missions? But unfortunately, you can't put cargo in the back. Maybe be able to use it on Cayo Perico? No, you can't do that either. So, they need to add some kind of ability to these planes. Let us do something with them, use them in a specific mission or something. But like I said before, as it sits right now, there really is no purpose to it. And that's pretty much it for this review. If you guys enjoyed this review, do drop a like. It does help me to make more content like this. Thank you guys for watching. I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. I'll see you in the next one. Take care, everyone. Have a wonderful day, guys.